Welcome back to Manufacturing Matters Jackson, the podcast version. We're here still with Brandie and Carlos from Gerdau. Brandie, my last question at the end of the TV show on why Jackson, I love to ask that because it's an economic development question, right? But you hit on all of the things that, as an economic development guy, got me excited. You have the rail spur that comes in. You've been here a long time, went through an acquisition. You know, we have an effort around foreign investment as well, and you have a Brazilian parent company, if I'm not mistaken. And so, since the acquisition in 2008, has that been like, how was that for you? Were you there at the company before the acquisition and then post, or?
I was not. Carlos was, but I started after the acquisition. I started with the company in 2011.
Okay, okay. How was that? Did you notice any changes after the acquisition? From having a little bit before and after experience.
Yes, some subtle changes. Subtle changes. Nothing too major. I don't know if I even want to. We used to always get the Gene Davis ribeyes, but nothing I really could speak on.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So, as we talk about Jackson County, can you talk about maybe some of the partnerships and opportunities that you have here in Jackson?
Yeah, so we do work, as we've talked through or previously, through our apprenticeship with JAMA is one of our partnerships. But a lot of the other things that we do, we partner with Junior Achievement. We're through that. We've went to a lot of the schools again, teaching them from a financial literacy. We've even went to some of the schools and through that with teaching them like about manufacturing and like what Gerdau is, and then teaching. They have like some of the schools now have these like life skill classes, and so we've been going to a few schools, even in again getting the kind of Gerdau out there as well, and then doing these life skilling classes with the students. Here recently, we now are doing some job shadowing through Junior Achievement, where students that are in high school have been coming to the facility. We have some students actually coming next week, where they can truly see what working in manufacturing is, and we have them through the day. While they're there, they can work with some of our electricians. They get to shadow our electricians, and also get to shadow our production workers, and really again bringing back what that manufacturing is still relevant, and that you can have a career with manufacturing.
No, that's great. Kind of going back to the video, one of the things, and even to something you said earlier on the television show part, you said in 2020 there was some changeovers with part of that operation leaving, and that was something I heard after I had started here. But then what we saw in the video, and it was some of that older equipment from the process that's no longer here is being removed to make way for some other opportunities. So could we maybe talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so from an organizational standpoint, in 2020, we had 3 producing mills, but we didn't have the capacity to keep all 3 mills full. So the decision was made at that time when we idled the hot side in Jackson, and then Jackson would continue to stay a finishing processing facility. So that's why a lot of times we're trying to reinforce in the community that we are still there. And currently right now we have, as an organization, we have one of our processes, we need more capacity in our turning process. And so right now over the last few years, we've been working to remove a lot of that old rolling mill equipment and utilize that building to bring in new equipment to be able to fill that capacity that we have from an organizational standpoint. So it's kind of exciting times right now seeing that happen. And I think that's why a little bit that sign that you see in the video about honoring the past and creating the future is that we're still here in Jackson, hope to be here for years going forward. and wanting to let people know that yes, Jackson is still a viable place for Gerdau.
So, what's your favorite part of your job?
Seems like a loaded question.
Especially for HR, right?
I think we also have other Gerdau staff in the green room right now, so I think everybody's listening right now to try to figure out what that is. So
No, I mean, I think for me, I think it truly is that it's the seeing our own employees having the opportunity to grow, and really being able to retire from this facility. I want this facility to be here for all of our workers and to truly be able to retire from there. So anytime I see the growth, that's, of course, wanting it to come to Jackson, that's exciting for me. I think even as from a community standpoint, right? I have 3 young boys, and showing them that like you can go to staying working in manufacturing and going through skilled trades, or even that there's opportunities there. You don't necessarily always have to go the college path. So even going to the schools and seeing the students come into the plant, and really letting them see the excitement there that I feel every day when I get to go out on the floor, is kind of my favorite part of the job.
So, Carlos, hopefully Brandie spoke enough there that you were able to think of a really good answer. What's your favorite part?
Yeah. I've been in manufacturing since high school in Jackson County. And I moved down to Georgia and got a similar job in manufacturing. And I think it was there when I really found like, this ain't bad. Because you kind of, if you don't go to college, you kind of feel like I'm not moving along with everybody else. Mm-hmm. But manufacturing is a real big deal. So you can find a spot, you can take care of your family, and then Gerdau gives you the opportunity to, if that's in your DNA, you want to step up and get an education. So overall, manufacturing, I kind of love it because it goes, you just don't think about, like she said, maybe every car got a piece of our steel in it, and, that's a big deal when it comes to safety and whatnot. You don't want your part to fail, but
I don't know a more perfect way to end it.
Yeah.
I mean, so I would guess any last thoughts on Gerdau? I mean, that was a pretty perfect answer though. So.
Yeah.
No, I think again, same thing. I think that I grew up here in Jackson, and so seeing this facility continue to grow that means something even to me personally. So anytime that we can showcase Jackson, and I think it's great and an honor.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming in and sitting down with us. It was truly a pleasure, and this has been Manufacturing Matters Jackson podcast. Thank you.